This is a 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air two-door hardtop. It's basically a pro touring appearing car. This body was almost one of the first ones that Chevrolet put together out of the Los Angeles plant. It was number 847 out of about 180,000 for the year. We've taken the original body, all original sheet metal, and we refined it to a very high level. This car retains all of its original GM styling. We built a custom chassis in Graham's hot rod shop. The triangulated 4-bar rear suspension, coil over all 4 corners, power rack and pinion steering. The drivetrain on this car is what makes it special. LS-based, 427 cubic inch, dual fuel capability where we have pump gas at about 1,200 horsepower that it was dynoed at. The race fuel on the split side of the tank, dynoed about 1,600 horsepower. The customer we built this car for, he named it his supercar. Definitely a higher level than just a pro touring. Twin turbocharged LS motor, very easy to drive, but when you get your foot in it, it's kind of like a wolf in sheep's clothing. It comes alive. My name is Mike Graham. I founded Graham's Hot Rod Shop Incorporated. I've been into cars my entire life. I was raised in a family that my father sold Chevrolets for 40 years. He had 32 Fords when I was a kid. I spent time working in the shop with him on his hot rods. I've been involved in the hot rods for just about my entire life. I raced motorcycles, flat track motorcycles for a good part of my life, and in 1990 it was time to get off the motorcycles. So I bought a 55 Chevy Bel Air two-door hardtop. My father bought a 57 Chevy two-door hardtop. I built a shop at the home. I kind of wanted it for me and my buddies and my dad to do our hobby type work. Built a few cars. Every time I built a car, I couldn't keep it. It never was for sale. So I kind of figured that what I was doing, people kind of liked. The more cars that I built, the more people wanted us to do things. So we started building cars for other people. The more we did, the more people wanted. So about 15 years or so, we were dedicated to doing things for other people. So a decision was made, and I told my wife, listen, I think I want to take a stab at this. It's a passion of mine. We bought a larger shop, my wife and I pulled together a really good team, and in the process brought in a really good partner. We turned that same passion into a business, and now we're building cars full-time. We start with basically a body of a car is all we really need. So we build our chassis in-house. We do all the fabrication in-house. We have body and paint, assembly, wiring, plumbing. The first car that I took to show was that 55 Chevy, that Bel Air two-door hardtop. We took it to a local show. We're parked right in the middle of the show. The battery went bad. So here I am right in the middle of a couple hundred cars trying to get jumper cables to get the car started to get out of there. Got it home to my dad's shop. We had a little 20 by 40 shop, and I told my dad, listen, this car's coming apart. I'm gonna pull the body off. I'm gonna do a complete body off on this car. He says, listen, Mike, I don't recommend you do that. Guys get cars apart, they never finish them. I said, well, Dad, I'm sorry, but I can't live with it. I gotta do it. It was about a 1.5 year project to get this clear through body paint, get the chassis restored, the body restored, new drivetrain, get the car back on the road. And when I was finished with it, my dad said, you know what? You made the right decision. So from that point forward, we knew that doing the full build, going the full distance on it, to make yourself happy and to show well, to be proud of what you have, was what we wanted to do. The first car that we got out was a 1957 Chevy Bel Air two-door hardtop. It was for some friends of the family. They've had this car since probably the mid-70s. They had it put away. I talked to them maybe 30 years ago. It never came together for us to actually get involved in that car until they saw another car that I'd built was in the upholstery shop, and they said, listen, I think it's time for us to do something with our 57. So that was the first chassis that came out of Graham's for a Tri-5 Chevy. And we finished the car and showed it at the Grand National Roadster Show in 2019. The car garnered quite a bit of attention, and in doing so, I've had customers as a result of seeing that car at that show. I met several individuals who just fell in love with the car and actually wanted to buy the car on the spot. So I said, listen, I have some cars put away. If you want a car, I can build you a car. I had one individual I talked to around the car that wanted to buy the car, and he had a very strong accent, so I asked him where he's from, and he said he's from Sweden. So he comes over almost every year. Turns out he has several cars of his own, has a little museum. He wanted to buy the car, and that didn't work out. So I told him, listen, be happy to build your car, that's what we do. He loved the quality, you could tell that he knew. His name was Tomas Bengtson. So I told Tomas, I said, listen, Tomas, we'd love to build you a car. I have a 57 Chevy Bel Air two-door hardtop builder car put away. And he said, give me a little bit of time. So that was in early February of 2019. Later that year, in November, the week of the SEMA show, I'm at home, my phone rings, and I look at the number, and it's a out-of-country number. He says, Mike, this is Tomas. I don't know if you remember me. And I said, of course I remember you, Tomas. So he says, I just want to know if you're going to be in your shop tomorrow in Fresno. And I said, yeah, we're open tomorrow. I'll be in the shop. And he says, okay. He says, well, I'm in Las Vegas. I'd like to come see you tomorrow. I said, love to have you. So about 1 o'clock, this van drives in the shop parking lot, and there's about seven guys, Tomas and about 6 of his friends from Sweden. I said, so this is the car that you saw, so what do you want? I have the 57 Chevy two-door hardtop. He goes, okay. He says, that's what I want. I want a 57 Chevy two-door hardtop. I said, okay. I said, so you want like this car here? And he says, yes, I want like this car. He says, but I have two conditions.
Tomas was a great customer. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better customer. He knew what he wanted, which wasn't much. He had 2 requirements. It was like 1,503 horsepower was one. I'm sure his buddy had 1,500, so he needed like, just a few more just to, one up him. And then the other one was he needed a bench seat. That was it. He likes to drive with 6 guys in the car.
I gathered at that point that somebody in Sweden probably has one with 1,503 horsepower right now, that he wants to build this car and be able to take it back and to one-up this other car that's got 1,503 horsepower. He says, okay, he says, let's go. That's what he said, exactly. He goes, let's go. And I said, all right. And he says, we have it at the Grand National Roadster Show. I said, yeah. He goes, next year? I said, no, I don't think, not the level of build we're going to do here, I don't think we can have it there next year, but it will get to the Grand National Roadster Show. Tomas says, I'm flying back to Sweden on Monday, and you send me what you need to get the project started.
My name is Shane McMullen, and I am co-owner of Graham's Hot Rod Shop with Mike Graham. When I started with Mike, one of the first big projects I got my hands on was this car. Off the bat, we knew we were going to build a chassis for it. We started with a custom chassis on it. It changed directions a few times. It was like air ride at first, and then we kind of talked him out of it, went with just coilover suspension. It's hard to redo a 57 body, in my opinion. They already got cool lines, they got big fins. There's nothing really to do to make it look better. Just clean it up. Just clean up what 57 Chevys had from the factory. It was gonna be an LS-based motor, twin turboed, automatic. We reached out to Steve Morris. He did the long block for us, but we did all the custom fabrication on it, like built the headers, the turbo system, intake manifold, all the components. It was surprisingly a tight fit. It looked like they have a lot of room from the outside. You open the hood, there's not a lot. I would send Tomas updates, videos. I even made YouTube links because he was in Sweden, and the communication was a little difficult. Hey, is this cool? And he would just send me a thumbs up, just every time. He never said anything other than that, and so I'd roll with it, and it was kind of cool. He left a lot of trust in me to build this cool car for him, and it turned into what he would call like a supercar. We wanted to put a big tire into the back of it, or as big as, more pro touring look, but we went with a 345. 19 in the back, so 13.5 inches of rubber. We had to mini tub it. We tucked the bumpers in. It's kind of, you have to do it on the 57. They're really big and bulky. They have bolts and stuff on them, so On the front, we one-pieced it. The car has 3 intercoolers on it, and the main one is in the very front under the bumper, and we wanted to direct some air to it. So we thought, oh, it'd be cool to make like a little reveal in the bumper. And he kind of showed us this car that he liked, and it was a Pontiac build. It reminded me of like a pewter color, but it had like kind of a green hue to it. So he was kind of like, hey, greens would be cool. I'm a green guy, I love green. So we talked about doing a two-tone. Well, 57 is hard to two-tone. So we were like, oh, let's just do the top a different color. So we went through color chart and we found this green, the bottom half. So we went with this green, and then we found this top color, and we just laid them out together in the sun. And me and Mike were kind of like, man, we had like 10 variations of the top and 10 of the bottom. And we're just standing there like, which one? Ultimately, we just kind of laid them together. I snapped a picture on my phone, sent it to Tomas. What do you think? These two, top is the dark, the bottom's the light. He's like, do it, perfect. We've gotten good feedback on it, like at the shows and everything. Everyone's like, dude, I like the way you two-tone the top. And it does look cool. It's got a different, it's not drastic. It's just kind of, it's simple. And then we brought green in the interior too, so it's green on green on green, which is, I like that. I think that's cool. We reached out to Glide Engineering. They're the ones that built the frames for this, the front seat. Mark did the interior, Elegance interior down in Upland, California. He did the rest of the upholstery work, and that was on Mark, man. He killed it. All the door panels, seats, that was all his idea. You know, wrapping the dash, we leather wrapped the dash. He did a small little console with a floor shifter. Being with the bench seat, you typically don't want a full console, but he did a small one with the floor shifter, looks really good. We did like some mesh screens under the hood to like get some of the heat out. He did like the speaker covers, the same mesh, the same color. It's kind of a titanium color. Did a really, really good job on the interior. It looked really good. The gauge cluster, a factory gauge cluster holds 5 gauges. This one we knew we wanted more gauges. I had the idea of like, hey, let's do a Holley digital dash. They had this big 12-inch screen, it's touch screen, put all kinds of gauges in it. And of course, you know, Tomas was like, yeah, do it. It's got a push button start. It's got a switch because it's got different tunes on the fly. So you can go from a pump gas to race gas tune as you drive it. It's got all the biggest, baddest stuff we could throw at it. It's got 14-inch Willwood 6-piston calipers. It's got twin transmission coolers with fans all like integrated into the bottom of the body. And like I said, I wanted to keep everything cool and alive, and heat's like the killer of everything on a car with high horsepower.
It was definitely a team effort in the shop. We were so proud of the outcome of this. And Tomas was very pleased that we were able to finally debut the car at the Grandmaster Roadster Show in 2023. That Tomas was able to be here from Sweden with another crew of his friends. Tomas was just, he had what his buddy called $1 million smile. I can't say enough about how good a customer Tomas was, allowing us to build the level of car that we built. In February of 2023, we had it show ready. We had not put any miles on it. We had not driven the car, and we call it what is the shakedown needed to occur with the car. So I asked Tomas, what do you want? What do you want to do? Do you want to take the car home to Sweden? He says no. He says I want you guys to keep the car here in the States for the remainder of 2023. Tomas, you know, flew home after the show, had a great time. We had a great time with him. Then after the show, about 6 weeks later, I take the car to Del Mar Good Guys show, which was a wonderful show. I had it placed indoors. So on Thursday, I texted Tomas and with a picture of the car. Tomas, I'm loaded, I'm headed to Del Mar. So I get a response, a thumbs up from Tomas. On Friday morning, I texted him also, I said, a picture of the car placed where it's gonna be for the show. And I said, we're all placed, Tomas, the show's starting. So he responded back, he goes, beautiful, beautiful, and thumbs up. All's well, getting good attention with the car. People love it. So about noon on Saturday, I catch a little break and I look at my phone, and it's one of his friends that came with him to the Roadster show call me. So I thought, well, that's kind of odd. So I step outside and I call Magnus, his friend, and I said, Magnus, this is Mike. He says, Mike, he says, Tomas just died. I said, what? He says, Tomas, he just died suddenly and unexpectedly 2 hours ago. And I said, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard to hear that because like I had built that relationship up the last 3 years. It's text and emails and videos. We had a relationship built up. So hearing that, it was hard to hear. It was sad. It's like I don't want to get that phone call. I was proud to build this car for this guy, and then that happened. So yeah, it was unfortunate.
It was 2 days later after I got back from the show that I got a phone call from his daughter, Emmy. And she called and she says, "Mike, my name is Emmy. I'm Tomas's firstborn." So I said, "Well, Emmy, I have to tell you that our deepest heartfelt condolences to you and your family, your mom and your sisters. We're so sorry. I don't know what to say." She says, "Well, I appreciate that." She says, "But my mom asked me to get a hold of you, and we'd like you to sell the car." I said, "Well, Tomas actually asked for us to keep the car here for the year and to show the car. Our best opportunity to sell the car is to show it. This may take a while, but in my opinion, that may be best for us to do."
Like this show? Want more? Then head to WatchPTTV.com, the new 100% free PowerTube TV streaming network. Home of the best classic and new motorsports racing and build shows on the web.